Hey Brian, this is Brian Hartman at Heart to Heart Marketing. Um, I was introduced to you by Ben Jimenez. You came out and helped us with a couple of projects here at the house in the vineyards. And I texted you yesterday, let you know that I was going to be sending you out a video with a free attack plan that you can use to be able to help you increase your lead generation coming from your website. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn off my camera so you can focus on what I'm going to be showing you on the screen. Bear with me one second. There we go. And so I'm going to show you three things you can do today to help bring in more customers to your business. That's the bottom line. We want to be able to increase lead generation for you. Most likely you're sitting there asking yourself, why would I be doing this and what's in it for me? Well, you're lucky because I read minds, and the answer is oftentimes in the world of the internet, most local business owners are too busy running their business to learn how the internet can benefit them and their company. And sometimes the only hesitation they have to hiring someone to do it is they don't know who's an expert and who isn't. I found by giving people an easy, free attack plan of actual things they can do to impact their business for free has resulted in some of these local business owners still raising their hands and saying, I like you, Brian, but please do this for me. So if by the end of this video you like what you heard and you can see that I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve that I could help your business with, shoot me a message back and we could chat. Or if at the end of the video you simply want to take this free attack plan I gave you to do yourself, that works for me too. Now let me show you three things that will set your company above your competition, not waste any more of your time or mine. So the first thing I want to go over is content. Here you can see I have your website pulled up, and content is everything that Google can read. Basically, when you left click and you scroll down, you see how it's basically highlighting those areas. I did a search earlier, and you have about 108 keywords, sorry, actual words on your website. And if we take a look at your competitor, Genesis Plumbing Services, you can see as we scroll down, they have quite a bit more content, readable content that Google can crawl. And what happens is when Google crawls your website, the content that you see that they can read explains that you're a legitimate business, what you do, who you're trying to connect with, what kind of clients you're looking for, et cetera, et cetera. That can be done by using keywords as well. And keywords are basically what people are searching for when they go into Google. And keywords can be found in the content, like in this paragraph. Could also be found in the in behind the photos that you have on your website. So, as an example, we'll just take let's see this photo as an example. If you right click and you do save as, you can see that this is saved as Saltwater Plumbing, Plumber in Port St. Lucie, which is good because plumber in Port St. Lucie can be a keyword, right? Let's see this one. Similar. It's saved the same way. So that's good. What we want to do is try to get as many keywords into the content as possible and behind your photos because we could stuff more keywords in there as well. And like I said, the keywords are what people are actually searching for um, on a monthly basis. So taking a look at this is a tool called Ahrefs, and um, Ahrefs is a tool that runs me about $200 to $300 a month, and it shows you what your site is actually ranking for. And if we come over here and click on organic keywords, and then we go by location, and we could put in by position rank, you'll see that you have branding, right? These are two branded keywords. That's your company name, right? And so when people search for you specifically by company name, they're going to find you number one on Google. However, what happens when people do not search by your company name? So what we have is you put in plumbers in Port St. Lucie as keywords on your site. But unfortunately, it's not in there enough times to be able to help you rank high on Google. You can see here that you're in position 19. Plumbers in Port St. Lucie, position 24. These are basically, after you get past position 8 or 9, you're already on the second page or further back in Google, which we call the grave pages, because people search, they're not going to go typically to the second or third page to be able to find, in this example, plumbers in Port St. Lucie. So when we take a look at your competitor, Genesis Plumbing, first of all, they have more keywords in their website. And let's take a look at what they're ranking for. Let's get this to show in order. Okay, so the first one is branded. That's their company name. And then you can see Plumbing Port St. Lucie, they rank number 3 in the search. So they're in third position. Plumber Port St. Lucie, they're in third position. Port St. Lucie Plumber, they're in fourth position. So all of these keywords are important, and you can see how far down the page it goes, up to about here. So we're looking at 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, about 17 or 18 keywords that are found on the front page of Google for those keywords. Huge. So you can see what the difference is. So um, if we go, and I did a search earlier on Plumber Port St. Lucie, the first thing that we see are the ads that people are paying Google to be up on. But studies show that ads are only semi-effective and can definitely become a money pit if they aren't effective. So in addition to that, a lot of people have ad blockers, so they wouldn't even see these three um, when they search. If we go past there, um, the next visible section that I want to talk about is called the Google Map Pack, or the maps. And you can see that right here. So there's usually 3 that show. We call those the big 3, the top 3. On these results, we can see the business name, address, and phone. If you click here, let's see if we can get it to pop up. There we go. First choice, Plus Plumbing and Air. Here's their address. Here's their phone number. This is called your Google My Business, or Google profile. Has photos, tells what products you actually have services for. And then there's a space for question and answers and an about section. Very, very important. So now you're probably asking, how do I rank in maps? I told you I read minds, right? So to answer your question, there are tools you can use to determine exact counts. But on average, these 3 that you see here in the map listing have 150 or more what we call NAPs, name, address, and phone numbers, in different directories. Um, Based on your positioning, we know that you have far less than the competition. However, we can easily knock them out of the park by getting twice as many as they have. They're very beatable. So we can get you into this map listing when people search for plumber Port St. Lucie. Typically, 50% of people that land here will call you. So that's huge. And right now, you can see that you're not in the listings on the top three. So these citations get submitted to different directories like Yahoo Local, Local Pages, Yellow Book. These are all things that you probably have heard of. Um, and even Facebook has a place for what we call citations. The citations, again, are name, address, and phone number placed in various directories like these. Okay, so we can definitely help beat out the competition, or you can do it on your own by adding usually, 250, 300 citations on different directories to be able to get there. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about is I want to cover with you an important aspect to Google, and that is the organic section. So let's get rid of this here. Okay. As you can see, Plumber Port St. Lucie, same thing. Genesis Plumbing came number one, and that's why I was using them as a competitor to you. So what causes people to be in the top section organically? It's something called link juice, um, and I'll explain to you what that means in a second. But this thing that gives you site authority basically is called link juice. You can see we search for you, and your site is not number one. We did a search for Plumber Port St. Lucie, and as we go down the list, Saltwater Plumbing does not appear there. And that's where you want to be. And in order to get there, you need to beat out the competition in every aspect. So link juice, simply put, works like this. Site A is pointing to site B. Therefore, site A is acting like link juice, which gives site B more authority in Google's eyes, almost like a popularity contest. But there's more to it than that. Link juice you obtain works a lot more effective when you have relatives back to you. So if you have, let's say, a very well-known plumbing supply company linking to you, that would be more effective because it's relevant and related than, say, Pizza Hut linking at you because, hey, you don't sling pizzas for a living. So um, here's Ahrefs again, same tool that I showed you. This again runs me about $200 to $300 a month. It's something that you could use too if you choose to. It's great for checking out the backlinks or link juice to see how many you have. In this point, you have 48 links pointing at your site, and that's a decent amount. But you can see that Genesis Plumbing, which ranks number one organically, has 137 sites working for them as link juice. Again, it's beatable for sure. You can definitely do better than that. And if you click on backlinks for Genesis Plumbing, we can see exactly what directories they put their name, address, and phone number into. So we can go after every single one that they're connected to, and then go after more than that to completely blow them out the water with backlinks. So once again, we went over content. Your front page needs about 1,500 keywords. I'm sorry, 1,500 words, plus getting as many of those keywords that we talked about in there in order to be able to have Google crawl and be able to show you as a legitimate business, and what you do and who you're reaching out to and trying to connect with. Citations, you want to have 200 to 300 of these to beat out the competition and be able to place yourself on the map listing. And then last, you need more relevant sites pointing at you guys to show Google you're the authority. And that is the backlinks that we talked about. If you implement all these strategies today, you can be number one across Google. And I'm psychic, remember? So I bet you're wondering, what now? Well, you can either go with this information I provided you today and do this on your own, and I'm totally cool with that. However, if you want the most effective route and want to save yourself the time, you can give me a call at 888-488-1967. You also have my cell phone number, so you can text me there as well. That's 561-633-8971. I'll get this out to you by email. You should have it. And once again, Brian Hartman, Heart to Heart Marketing. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great one. Talk to you soon.